Hi, everyone. I know we're live. We're just logging on to live, and I'm trying to get logged on to Instagram. Here we go. Hi, everyone. We're logging on to our Facebook and our platforms to say hello to you. And so, Suzanne, you should, in a moment, see me live on your phone, and then you can share that to your Facebook audience.
Okay.
So,
I don't see you live, but I see your face.
yeah.
Let's see if we get to
Yep, and you
share.
may have to maybe back out the arrow and then come back into my let's see if we're live now. Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
I wonder if I can share it to your page.
Okay. When you're ready to post, I guess we're live.
Yeah, how about that? Hey, welcome everyone. We're live on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. And it's really, hey, hi, Bernadette. We have people joining us already. Suzanne, I don't know if you can uh, see the comments or not in your StreamYard.
Not yet, but
Okay, they'll
you
be
can
coming in.
you can see them, or maybe they'll come in.
Hi,
Uh,
thank you. We have Bernadette. She's on YouTube. Hi, Bernadette. Thanks for joining us today. And for everyone on live Facebook and Instagram, we just want to welcome all of you to Suzanne and mine's live today. And we're here to promote our event for tomorrow.
yes, absolutely. 6:30 EST, which would be 2:30 when 3:30. Hey, you made it hit the little top comment button as well. Thank you. Thank you, Brianna. Oh, there I am. Wonderful. It's nothing like having the wonderful lead the wonderful. Okay, perfect. Sound good. So it is actually tomorrow night, April, I believe it's the 24th, right? Or no, it's 23rd. I'm sorry. 23rd. I'm like a day behind and a day ahead on everything that I'm doing here. But anyway, it's 6:30 EST. We try to like, because Cheryl's in California, I'm in New York. We try to like blend the time frameworks, because I know that there's some people who work, believe it or not, that work later nights in New York, and then it would be opposite from where you are in California, and in California it's due. So we try to like coordinate that so we can all do that, because I know the last time we did this show, after we got off the air, I got like tons of emails, and they said, "Oh God, I wish I would have known ahead of time." Well, I think we did promote some of that, to let them know. But the big thing is that we're doing our, I don't know how many times event. And they're really quite wonderful. I have to say, we get really phenomenal, wonderful, very warm results, which is really, really sweet for everybody here. Which I think is a cool thing in general. I think anytime you can do some wonderful things in the world to keep the world a little more centered and calm, I always think that that's kind of an extra as well. But in any case,
Definitely.
so it will be live. We'll be giving messages for the whole length of time. I think it's 6:30 to 8 or somewhere in there, and we're pretty good with
Right. It's
with
6:30 Pacific time. And yeah, I'm sorry, it's
6:30
6:30 Eastern time, sorry, and 3:30 Pacific
Pacific time,
time.
right?
And
And if you're in between, if you're in between, if you're in Chicago time, it's 5:30, and if you're in Mountain Time, it's 4:30. So when you travel to all these different places for YM, you sort of like get the time zones of everything here of where they are. But we're really, really good here. So with that in mind, we're certainly going to be taking some callers. So call in,
Mhm,
guys.
mhm.
I can't give you the call number because there's no call number for these things.
Yeah, but no, you guys can post in or write in the comment section if you'd like a reading or if you have a question we can help you out with. We'll be doing a couple of readings here to promote our event that's happening tomorrow night. And you know what's great about our event, Suzanne, is it's buy one, get one free.
Yes.
And so, guys, if you buy a ticket to our event, it's an online event. Bernadette was just now asking Suzanne if it was going to be on Zoom. I mean, if it was going to be on YouTube, but but Bernadette, it's going to be on Zoom. We'll send you a Zoom link
Yeah.
for tomorrow. So 6:30 Eastern and 3:30 Pacific.
Right. And it will be going to, and and for the other thing is that not only will people be able to get the Zoom link if they join, but they also will be able to good afternoon. I would love reading you. They'll also be able to see it on YouTube or Facebook, and which is kind of nice because sometimes people miss it with one, and what are you going to do? You miss it with one, so you kind of like do it with another, and that's just sort of how
Yeah.
we kind of like work these things out. which is kind of nice. Which for so many years, there was really only, and that tells you how long I've been doing this. That there was really only audio. There not only was only audio, but the only way you could actually even have any kind of a reading was at a psychic fair. That's
Yeah.
how long it was. 40 years. That's all they had in those days. So,
Wow. Hey,
to think that we can have so much of it now is really great.
yeah, Suzanne, do me a favor and on your phone, on your Facebook, see if you can share that to your page because I'm wondering, I'm not seeing it on your live page yet.
Okay.
So you may have to reshare it. Maybe it just didn't take the first time.
Okay.
Uh,
So,
but just go to my Facebook page and watch the live there.
okay.
And if I could share it to your page, I would, but I don't think I can.
Okay. Well, I just said share. So,
And share it and then share now.
right. Share now. I did that.
Okay, let's see. Yep, that's it. Well, let's see if it can work and come up. We'll have Brianna check on that. And thanks, Brianna, for helping us out behind the video here, behind the stage.
You know
Uh,
what they say, always behind somebody is there somebody who's even greater that can, yeah, get things sort of good things sort of rolling here.
so, guys, welcome to our live today. We're doing a couple of readings for you today. Please write in the comments section if you have a question or if you'd like a reading. But we're here to promote our event tomorrow night. Suzanne and I are doing an event online on Zoom. It's called Messages with Spirit. And it's buy one, get one free. So you could bring a friend for free. I mean, that's such a great deal. And I'm thankful to Suzanne for allowing us to do that because it was her idea where we step in. We want to share it, right, Suzanne? We want to
Well,
really spread
one
spirit.
of the yes, one of the things, of course, you're sharing connection with spirits, but what you're also sharing is a lot of times, as you well, I know, you'll have a family member that want to
Mm,
come in with another family member. Very commonly, either spouses, siblings. I find is a really common, mom and daughters, and so this way, it's like they're paying the one price. They both can come in, as opposed to what they may pay for just one single person. So I've always felt that it's a really nice gift to give to people, and that is sort of why you do it, because some, maybe one member of the family has a little more money than the other member of the family, and that's kind of works out. Sometimes sometimes it's the mom that's got the extra because the daughter has whatever expenses, school expensive, kids expenses, kind of all the other, and then sometimes it's the other way around where the daughter or the son is doing really really well, and they're like, no, I want to give this gift to mom. And speaking of
mhm.
mom, we are right before Mother's Day. Not just, I mean, I
That's
know
so true.
we're in April in that, and I do know that definitely, there's some things going on. I'm sure you got some things going on
Yeah.
for Mother's Day as well as I do as well.
Mhm.
It's a really really kind of interesting time. I don't know, but this is always one of the things that I've always shared with people over the years, which I've always found is kind of really interesting. Um, is that my phone, at a time when I would have the phone in my office, which may sound really, really strange for many, many people, is that my phone rang more on Mother's Day than any other day of the year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was
That's
it was really, and the thing is, we know in reality I wasn't there, but that's not the point. It was like somehow that connection was even more than even other holidays, either
yeah.
Christmas or any other, So um, that's the thing here. So we have a question here from Bernadette.
Also, Suzanne, before we answer her question,
Yes.
I think Brianna is asking to try to share your live on Facebook one more time. Make sure you're sharing the live now, not that post anymore, but go to the live where you and I are talking here and
Okay.
see if maybe that was it. See if you can share the live now and not so much that post and
Okay.
try to get your people hearing our live on your Facebook here.
Right.
If it
Okay.
worked, I think she's checking for us. Thanks, Brianna.
Yes,
Uh,
that's so sweet of you.
hey,
Uh, okay.
so
Let's see.
as Suzanne's doing, going live and sharing the page on her Facebook, I want to share with you guys what's special about our event tomorrow is it's a 2-hour event. So you have two mediums for 2 hours. So, I mean, it's really kind of a win-win situation where you can buy a ticket and bring someone for free, and you'll have a lot of time to be receiving those readings or once again, Suzane and I know Suzane will try to reach as many people as we can during our event, trying to read as many people in the audience. And what we say is not everyone in the audience may get an individual reading, but messages abound. Like we're all getting messages from spirit. Our goal is to help you feel the spirit world, to really step into that energy of love and healing and hopefully transformation. We never know what spirit has in mind. We always have to trust that spirit's sending the exact correct amount of people, putting them in the right place, getting the readings at the right time. Suzane has this gift about reading many people at one time. I don't know how she does it, but she'll pick a row of 2 or 3 people and give people different readings. It's really amazing to watch if you've never seen Suzane work or myself. We also bring through animal communication if your loved ones do want to connect with an animal, but it is really about connecting you with your loved ones and getting those messages that you're asking for, or maybe you need help during this time. Maybe there's grieving happening. You may have just lost someone, or it
Yeah,
doesn't matter in spirit world, even if it were several years ago, the grief can still be there.
yeah, because there's no such thing as it's we get over it. That's it's just kind of what it is. You just don't kind of get over it.
Yeah.
It has to, everybody has to go through, um, the whole deal, really, to be honest with
Mhm.
you.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that's,
and, for just people, logging in, I don't know if you can see all the comments, Suzane, but someone is asking, Art Visualized, she's on my Instagram, or he is on my Instagram, I'll try to post it, is asking, "Does spirit have any guidance to help my knee health?" This is almost like a spirit asking if you have. Thank you. You can see the comment. Thanks,
there,
Brianna, for posting it. It is, I mean, a lot of people have health questions these days because they're participating in their own healing. And that is something that Suzane and I can help with just by bringing in the energy of the spirit world.
yes. Well, I always tell people, listen, we're not medical people. We can't refer
That's
anything.
true.
We can't give, prescriptions or kind of any of the above. Uh, but I do know that there is most definitely something that, uh, in a lot of, a lot of my work, everybody knows my work because I worked a lot with scientists and doctors, and I'm
Hmm.
endorsed by many of them. And I can tell you those that are very much connected to the world that I'm in, they will tell you quite specifically that your heart and the connection, and as we work through all of that, always has a major major effect on how we deal with anything. The more positive you were. I
Oh,
was speaking to a woman yesterday, and she said, she lived with cancer for 7 years, and a lot of it had to do with her mental state, her positive state, how she would laugh with comedies, how she would work with people, and she would use that energy as a healing, as well as trusting the information that would come through, that she would visualize and receive and stuff. And to live 7 years with cancer that was not an easy cancer is really quite amazing. So um, I would say that would be one of the things that I would certainly say to this other person. The other thing I would sort of say is this: it's always a good idea to visualize or to look to see what part of the body is that has an issue.
hmm,
Now,
hmm.
everybody knows what legs are about. Legs are about foundation. And the knee is the flexibility within the middle of that foundation. Because we all know, most people will tell you that if they've had hip surgery, it's a lot easier than knee surgery, just because of the movement, but also because of we need that flexibility. So I always sort of people, and I know maybe people may look strange at me, but the part of your body is very significant to whatever you may be going through. And I would definitely say, whether there is or there's not foundation issues, I would most definitely address them. And that could be in any area of your life. That could be your home life. That could be your work life. It could be your spiritual life. It could be any part of the aspect of your life that involves that aspect of the body. And if you
Yeah,
think about it, it's really true. The legs are foundation.
yeah.
They just start. There's no way you can eliminate that one, because it's just kind of what it is.
Yeah, thank you for that question. And so many questions coming in right now around health or around connecting with loved ones. And We are inviting all of you to join Suzanne and I for our event tomorrow. It starts at 3:30 Pacific time, 6:30 Eastern time. It'll be online on Zoom, and it's where Suzanne and I will be delivering messages from spirit from your departed loved ones. And we'll be offering 2 hours of readings. So it's really a big deal if you can make it, because so many people will be getting readings. We'll do as many as we can during that time. But also this is a special treat for Suzanne and myself, because we're offering Bring a Friend for free.
Yes.
So you can purchase a ticket and then bring a friend for free.
BOGO.
BOGO. BOGO it is. Thank you. Thank you. And, someone else is asking, I'll post another question here, Suzanne, just because we're on the health messages right now. Marie's asking, I'm reading a lot about detoxing, juicing, and doing parasite and heavy metal cleansing. Am I on the right track? Can I start with this one, Suzanne?
Yes.
I
Yes.
feel, yeah, Marie, I feel like it is the right track, but sometimes too much can be just too much. And
Yes.
I would start and pay attention and pay careful attention to your body. It's as if you want to meditate on that first, because all of those questions coming through about, detoxing and juicing and cleansing, I want to actually break that down and try to make it a little bit simpler for you. But I do feel you are on the right track. I would start with like heavy metals or just lightly cleansing, and always know that I'm picking up the information intuitively. If you had like a nutritionist or a naturopath to help guide you, sometimes you can get more of you can see more of the difference happening. But I know that I get my messages from spirit, and I felt the heavy metal cleansing would be something to start with. So Suzanne, I'm going to hand it over to you. And what are you picking up for Marie?
I'm a big one for balance.
Yeah.
Meaning that what works for one person's body does not work for another person's body. I happen to I have a thing with oils. Oils are like they. I have to be careful about the oils in my body. And somebody else may not. So it's just it's really knowing your body. But I do know that sometimes people go to extreme things, and I get all of that. But I'm also, and I have to say, this is just going somebody who's been, vegetarian for 50 years, although I have eaten fish in the last 20. For the first 30, I didn't. For the first turn, I was a vegan. One of the things I think I learned through all of that was that there was a thing mentally, emotionally, psychologically, that it was too extreme. And I realized that everything is in balance, and I am still on the earth plane, and I am on the earth plane for a reason. And in my case, I can't speak for anybody else, to deprive myself of some things that I might really, really like, that for whatever reason may not be good for some people. We're good for me. So like I said, I haven't had any meat since I was 20 years old. So that my body has a slow digestion. And anybody will tell you that we really don't have meat eating bodies because we don't have meat eating teeth. If you look at animals, they're carnivores. They have these kinds of teeth. So our body's sort of not structured for it. But that doesn't mean that people don't eat meat and don't like meat, because a lot of people do. So and I know I've heard people for years, sometimes they'll go without it and they don't feel right. And I go like, so you eat. I mean, you put it in balance. So I want to say, when you go into extreme stuff, I think that sometimes we become out of balance, and not only that, I think it becomes extreme and we get very rigid. And rigidity is never a good thing for any kind of healing, to be quite frank. They say that sometimes when people aren't they're really low and they're feeling low and they've been really good, and either they're on a diet or on this, and they say like, okay, so if you really liked ice cream, if you had a cup of ice cream, it's not going to kill you.
Right.
So I think that the world is certainly changed from when I became a vegetarian. That's for sure. To the way over to the right, and through my years of certainly going through this, I have come to that conclusion. And so it's like, I'm not going to. I mean, I'm not going to deprive myself of something, but I know I have to keep myself into balance. I know for no other reason I have to, because my body is the vehicle for my work. So you know they
For all of
they,
us.
they kind of go hand in hand. There was a time that when I first started my practice, I was working 7 days a week, and I could at sort of that age. But as if you've studied mediumship throughout history, many mediums had lived a short life. Many
Mm,
of them were very overweight because they were trying to replenish their body with food from all the energy that they gave out.
mhm.
So, this was a long time ago. We've come very much farther than that.
Oh my
So it's
gosh.
it's it's really, you got to know within your rhythm, and
Mhm.
it is your body. You're living in it, and I really am a big fan of not doing things too rigid, because what happens is that not only do you become obsessively focused on it, but you don't want to be just you don't want that just be the control of your life. But this is just my 2.5 cents here. So
Yeah, 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 and like you said, Suzanne, sometimes, focusing on happiness may be
yes,
is a higher energy to where any weight or cleansing that you're looking for could naturally just drop off by the wayside. I know when people are very, very happy, they're not thinking about,
yes,
and it's just not they're just not, I mean, sometimes happiness and joy and peace of mind and
hmm
balance can be
as important. Yes.
as important.
I do want to add a 2 cents here, though. I believe it was, I'm not sure here, Bernadette, she was talking about the crows.
Mhm, yeah,
So
thanks.
one I'm going to tell you about crows, very similar to hawks, by the way. Both of those birds are messengers.
Mm,
And if you don't believe me, if you've ever been in the country and you've seen a crow, you'll never see one crow. They fly in a circle. And when they fly in a circle, they let you know something's going on. Trust me on that one. And I'll never forget the time that I had sort of adopted this guinea fowl, which adopted me. And if you don't know what a guinea fowl is, you can look it up online. Because I didn't know what a guinea fowl was until it ended up on my porch, and I thought it was something else. And anyway, it adopted me. And one day I'm in the shower and I'm hearing this incredible noise, and it was the crows. And I looked down and I could see that there was a fox that was coming after my guinea fowls. So what you may not know about guinea fowls is that they fly, but they don't fly like other birds, because they're in that sort of in that family. And I got downstairs just sort of in time to get that fox back out in the hen house. So
wow.
but if you notice them, they always fly in the circle when they're following something. I mean, vultures do that too. By the way, vultures can smell something like, I don't know how many, like it's, I don't know if it's like a quarter of a mile. So I mean, a phenomenal amount of
Mhm,
distance
mhm.
to go kind of on their prey. So if you're seeing black crows, dear, I'm going to tell you it's a messenger, and
Yeah.
it's a message. And if you're going through whatever issues in your life, or you're having some difficulties, um, listen to the messages, and they're all around us. The thing and that we never do in life, and many of us are the blame for this, is that we listen to others other than the greatest gift that we're all given by the
Mm,
great, is ourself. And
mm.
when somebody tells you something that doesn't feel right for you, listen to it, because you're going to kick yourself in the ass, I guarantee you, 6 months later, for not
Yeah,
listening to it.
yeah.
Um, so I just wanted to mention that to Bernadette,
Mm,
because she it sounds like she's going through a lot of stuff, and I'm going to say, like, maybe she needs to listen to the messages from the birds that are telling her about health issues and what's going on. Back and spine are like they're like legs. They're our ground, our foundation. Um, they're all sort of like tied in, and my guessing is that there's some stress going on, and work with them. Oh, you see them in your backyard, in your balcony. There you go. They
mhm,
they won't come close to you,
mhm,
um, but it doesn't make. They don't have to come close to you, because they're giving you the message from wherever they are. And if you're getting them around, listen, because there's something in the grander picture, my dear, going on here, that I can most definitely tell you. So
And look, guys, we're doing these live readings today to say hello and to introduce us. I know everyone knows Suzanne, but maybe you're meeting me for the first time. And just to let you know, Suzanne and I are doing an event tomorrow. It's buy one get one free. So we want you to bring a friend because we think it's better when it's shared. When this gift is shared, where Suzanne and I will be doing mediumship readings. It begins at 3:30 Pacific time, 6:30 Eastern time, and it's going to be on Zoom. It's called Messages with the Spirit World, and it's where Suzanne and I will be doing mediumship readings, and we'll be doing questions like this. We'll be connecting with your loved ones in spirit, and we'd love to invite you to join us. It's tomorrow, and Suzanne and I really, it's a blessing to be working with her. Suzanne's always very busy, so anytime I can share an event with Suzanne or step on the platform, it's always a joy. And really, our events are very unique. You're watching two mediums for 2 hours, right, Suzanne? I mean, this is
yeah,
kind of a time.
we focus it. I mean, I think it's promoted as an hour and a half, but we
Oh,
always tend to run
yeah,
over. So we'll give it.
we do. We
we'll,
do.
we'll tend to, we don't, we're not great to the time pictures. But I had a one
Yeah,
thought over here for
good.
Joy. She said
Good, Joy.
she thought that they were a bad omen and afraid of what was coming next. I would definitely not look at it as a bad omen. I would look at it as there's a message. And unfortunately, us as human beings, when we see something as a message, our instincts is like, oh, it's an omen, it's not a good thing. If you're being warned about something in life, that's a gift. It's not a bad thing. It's a gift, and take it in, because that means that somebody is trying to get a message to you, Joy. And it just sometimes, and people, we live in a very, unfortunately, or whatever you want to call it, instant world. We want everything now. Life doesn't work on the now. Let me tell you
Mhm.
something. Life does not work on a now. And it's like, if you think about the thoughts that maybe you put into your mind, or your thoughts or your goals in life, maybe 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and maybe it took a while for some of those to manifest, because things don't happen overnight. The earth plane is much slower than our thoughts. People will tell you that the quickest thing is the idea of a manifestation. The hardest thing is the hard work of the manifestation. And
Mm.
so you must have a long thing. I don't know if many people probably don't remember her, Linda Wertmüller. Do you remember who she was, Cheryl?
No,
She,
no.
she, she was a film director. And she hasn't been around in a long time. I think she's been dead for quite a few years. But one of the things that I remembered her as a film director, she said, you have to have a long love,
Mm.
because if you don't have a long love, and in any piece of art, and anybody will tell you, that has gone from one place. If you look at if you view the Academy Awards, you'll see many of those people had ideas for 7 years, 8 years, 9 years before they ever got manifested. So
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
means a long love. It means you had a passion for something, you stuck with it. Doesn't always mean it manifests the way we want it, or the way and when we want it. But I would guarantee you, almost anybody that has ever watched any kind of award shows, or any kind of I don't care if it's at an institution or wherever it is, that person will tell you that I had this, thought and this vision when I was 16 years old, or I had this, and I never knew how it was going to come to be. And we went down this road in our life, and then sometimes something, whatever grand, comes in and changes the direction. And so it's we live in a very short fused world. That's
Right.
Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. And that short fused world, in some ways, personally, my own personal feeling, will get you in trouble,
Mhm.
because life doesn't work that way. It's like
Mhm.
saying, and it's interesting, because I think it goes hand in hand with a lot of other things. Like, for example, we live in a world that people stay in relationships very short, and then
Mhm.
they wonder why they meet somebody that's been in a relationship for 20 years. And I go, like,
Mhm.
well, the reason they were in 20 years is because they worked at it.
Yeah.
Relationships are wonderful when they're wonderful, but
Yeah.
when they're not wonderful, they are difficult. And,
Mhm.
and if you don't take the time to go through those, you're going to have the rocks and the holes and the whatever it is. And if you don't go through that, then you're never going to get to those other points in your life. And
And
I
that's the growth. That's the spiritual growth,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
is the
I'm sure you get that a lot in your work, because you do a lot of readings and
yeah.
stuff. pieces
Yeah,
put life.
it's the deeper learning that we do in those times where it's rocky, where it's tough.
Yes,
Those can be the most meaningful afterwards.
yes,
But
yes.
it is hard.
Yeah, and it's all kinds of relationships. I'm not just talking about your love life. I'm talking about your siblings, your parents, your friends. I mean, I it's so it's all relationships take time. They take love. They take
Mhm,
understanding. They
mhm.
take that. Sometimes we have to learn to shut up and listen. There's all kinds
Good
of
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
big one.
it's a big
It's
one
hard.
and a hard one and a
Yeah,
hard one and swallow stuff. So, but if you want to, and if you think you're with somebody, and that I'm not saying it's cut and dried, but if you really think that you are with somebody that you could, really share your life for some time, it behooves you to do that. Just like it behooves you to listen to things, even if you don't get that message right away. Because, um, you know, I love when I hear, how that the sky is always going to be there when you wake up. Pretty
mhm.
we hope. The trees are still going to be there when we wake up. They've been there for a long time.
Yeah,
Certain animals have been there for a long time. So if you follow through, the webs of time, um, you'll see that that's really how we get beyond the A to the B to the to the grander part of the D and the F and and that takes
yeah,
sort
you're
of time.
to some work, and
It,
so I loved your teaching on manifesting, and I love that long love. What a way to look at life too, and that it really helps us be more use discernment or be clear on what you love and what's your passion, right? And
yes,
I
yeah,
know, and it can be very spiritual, but the loving is the highest power out there. And really, if you do want to talk about manifesting, make sure you love something, right? Make sure you're going to love that energy that
yes,
you do want to attract.
right. Well, if you've ever been a reader of any of Willie Shakespeare's work,
Mhm.
you will hear that and he had every single type of personality in the world in all of his work. Um, you'll read that love is still the greatest
Mhm.
gift. And how
Mm.
many years and years and years ago of that?
A
And how
long
many
time.
and how many people still read Shakespeare's literature? And how many colleges still do Othello and King Lear and all of those? And if and look, that was in what is the 1500s or 1600s, and look, is there any difference? Not really.
Mhm,
Not,
mhm.
I mean, they dress a little differently, but the players are the same. You know.
Well, guys, I mean, what a great conversation to have you on with Suzanne. And for everyone who's been getting readings, or if you're watching us today, we want to invite you to our event tomorrow. It's going to be here. It's going to be on Zoom. You'll get a link in your inbox.
Yep.
But it is called Messages with the Spirit World. It's Suzanne Northrop and myself, and we'll be doing readings, and we're offering a buy one, get one free where you can bring a friend for free. And we love to offer that because we think it's better for everyone, because someone who feel that they've never been to a demonstration before, they don't know
Right.
what to expect,
Yeah.
maybe they're in grief and they're not thinking about it, or maybe they're not part of our newsletter yet and they haven't heard about it, but you
Yeah.
have. If
Yeah.
you can reach out to them, definitely invite them. We'd love to have anyone that's new to mediumship readings or wanting to connect with their spirit world,
Right.
because we do that. That's what Suzanne and I love to do. It's certainly an honor and a privilege. It's tomorrow, by the way. It's at 3:30 Pacific time and 6:30 Eastern time.
Yes. And they're asking if we will be on YouTube after we are on the Zoom link. It does go to YouTube. It does go to
Mm,
Facebook. So
mhm,
you don't catch it one place, you certainly catch it sort of
mhm,
another, because that's just sort of like how it works. But and sort of elaborating on what Cheryl is saying is that there are times where you're low and maybe your friend is low, or like he or she could really, lose a connection, and maybe, you want to give somebody a Mother's Day business. Maybe you want to give somebody they got a birthday coming up or something, and these are our special gifts. I have a dear friend of mine who is actually well-known cardiologist, And she said, like, what you do, what we do, you can't put a price on it, and it's true.
Mm,
You can't put a
mm,
price on love. You can't put a price on
yeah,
connection or healing, because it's once you've been given that message, those messages, they do stay with you, because
they do.
they're coming through love. They're coming through connecting with the people that love you, and the whole kind of 9 yards of it.
Well, Suzanne, I want to thank you for being with us today on live. And guys, once again, our event is tomorrow. It's on Zoom, and you'll have Suzanne and I beginning at 3:30 Pacific time and 6:30 Eastern time. We'd love to see you there. And once again, it's a special event. It's buy one, bring a friend for free.
Yes.
Please take advantage of it, and you'll have both Suzanne and I. And we just love working together. It's interesting what comes through from spirit. We have to surrender to that. And look,
Yes.
if you know someone, as we mentioned, for an early Mother's Day gift, this is a nice gift, right,
Yeah.
Suzanne?
Yes.
I love the idea of that.
Yes. Yes. And it is literally right around the corner.
Is literally right around the corner. So, everyone, thank you for joining us today on our live on all our social platforms. Thank you again. We hope to see you tomorrow. We did post the link, but if
Yep.
you can, go to Suzanne
Just say
Northrop.
Northrop.com. That's it.
Yeah,
Yes.
go to Suzanne Northrop, her.com, sign up for her newsletter, and I'm at mediumcheryl.com. And we'll always try to keep you informed of what events we have going on. But Suzanne, thank you so much for connecting today, and thank you for your time and coming
Oh,
on. And I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
it's always a joy working with you, Cheryl. We always have a
Thank
good
you.
time, and we always get, like, I have to say, we get really, really nice response. People, they really enjoy our connection of how we work. We work a little similarly, a little differently. So
Yeah,
that's the deal,
sweet.
as one said. That's the deal.
It's the deal, guys. So thank you again, and have blessings to you. Happy Earth Day for everyone, right? It's
Yes,
Earth
yes,
Day.
yes,
Yes. Happy
absolutely.
Earth Day. All
Yeah.
right, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Bye now.
Take care.